Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube Live. I'm going to be doing some one card readings for you today, and I'm also going to be answering any questions that you might have about tarot or tarot card reading, so feel free to shoot any questions my way. So I want to start this off by introducing myself. So I'm Kate. I'm also known as the Daily Tarot Girl, and I'm a tarot card reader and tarot teacher. And I've been reading tarot for I think about 15 years now, and I've been teaching tarot for I think almost 10 years. And I'm really looking forward to doing this live. I love doing these lives so much. I just see some comments in the chat. So hello and welcome. Let me know where you're from. I'm going to be reading with the Light Seers Tarot today. And I have a question for those of you who are watching. Which tarot deck do you feel yourself most often drawn to right now? Like, what is your go-to deck? What is the deck that you find yourself using most often? So I like the Light Seers. I use the Light Seers a lot. I also use the Everyday Witch Tarot. Those are two favorites at the moment. It tends to change, it depends when you ask me, but right now those are the two that I tend to gravitate to. And Dark Mansion, yeah, someone mentioned Dark Mansion. I love that one too. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome Lois, Lena, TJ, Laura, Meredith, Maria. Welcome everyone. Aloha from Hawaii, Laura. Yeah, I see a few people said Everyday Witch, Dark Mansion, Rider Waite. Yeah, the Rider Waite is a classic. You can't go wrong with the Rider Waite. Hello, Greg from Reno. I've actually been to Reno once. I went to the airport there, but I haven't actually seen Reno itself, just the airport. Okay, so how this is gonna go is if you want me to pull a card for you, just let me know in the comment section. And if you have a question about tarot, whether it's about giving readings to yourself, learning tarot, any kind of tarot related question, feel free to ask me as well. I'm hoping to kind of switch back and forth between doing readings and answering questions. All right, so I'm gonna start by shuffling my deck. And while I'm shuffling, I've got a couple of upcoming things that I want to tell you about. So I am going to be teaching my 4-week tarot course on intuitive tarot card reading. That's coming up. So you can sign up for that at the moment. It's called The Daily Tarot Girl's Guide to Intuitive Tarot Reading. And classes start on October 5th. But you can sign up now. So I'm going to put the link to my course in the chat if you feel called to check it out. Okay. And then the other thing that I have coming up is a free workshop. It's called A Date with Your Tarot Deck. And it's an hour-long workshop where I'm going to take you on a date with your tarot deck. And it's really fun. You're going to learn all kinds of wonderful things. It's an open level workshop, so tarot students of all levels are welcome. And I'm going to share that link as well if you want to check that out. It's not for like a week or longer than that even. It's not for like 10 days, but I just posted the link so you can check it out and see if it's something that interests you. All right, so I'm going to start by doing a reading. Let's see. Thank you, Angelic Michelle. I don't know if you wanted a reading or not. If you do, let me know. Okay, I'm going to start with the first person who asked a question, which was Lena. Hi, Kate. I would like a message. What do I need to know right now? Okay, I love those questions. I love a good kind of general question. All right. Now, what does Lena need to know right now? I always close my eyes when I choose cards. Okay. All right, so we have the Two of Swords from the Light Seers Tarot. I'll just give my camera a moment to focus on that. Still looks blurry. Oh well. Okay, so Two of Swords. Two of Swords is saying that, Lena, it's time to tune into your intuition. You might be called to make choices and make decisions over the next few days or weeks, and you may feel like you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. You don't have all the information you need to make a really informed decision to move forward. And that means that it's time to go inward and rely more heavily on your gut instincts and your intuition. That's the beauty of those situations. This can be frustrating when we feel like we don't have enough information to make a decision, but it's kind of a double-edged sword. Two of Swords. It's the other side of the sword is that it kind of forces you to tune into your intuition and rely more on your intuition. So what I'm getting from this card is that this is going to be helpful for you in the upcoming decisions and choices and things like that that you need to make. Really honor your intuition. And a question I have for you is, what helps you move inward and get guidance? Is it meditation? Is it journaling? Is it art? Is it going for a walk? Is it getting outside in nature? What helps you go inward? What helps you tune out all the distractions that are happening around you and just go inward and hear that inner voice? That's something to contemplate. All right. Lots of people want readings. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do a reading for Angelic Michelle. I'm just gonna reshuffle my deck. So Michelle, the tarot cards want you to see this card, which is, oh, Ace of Wands. This is a really potent card. I just find this particular card in this deck really fascinating. All right, so the Ace of Wands, there's definitely a new beginning coming up for you. The aces always denote some sort of fresh start or new beginning, and it's an opportunity to let go of some things, to maybe go in a new direction. It's an opportunity to start a new project. When it comes to the Ace of Wands, though, because the suit of Wands is all about energy and passion and creativity, this is telling me that you're going to have some really great ideas coming up. You're going to feel inspired. You're going to have all kinds of creative ideas, new ideas, exciting ideas, and it's going to be tricky to know what ideas to stick with and to consider and which ideas to let go of. So make sure that you write them down as they come to you. Even if maybe they don't seem that important at the time, just jot it down. And even if you think, oh, I'm never going to forget this, I'll remember this idea, you probably won't. So just write it down. And then you can go through all your ideas. And again, using your intuition, tuning into your intuition to decide which things to focus on and which things to kind of put to the side. But this definitely shows like an increased, a phase of increased creativity. And part of this is due to your spiritual connection. The more that you work on having a spiritual connection and connecting to the deeper part of yourself, your higher self or your expanded self, the more creative you become. So there is this link between those two things, that when you are paying attention to the spiritual side of life and you are honoring your higher self, your ideas are going to come to you much more easily. Your creativity and the flow of creativity is going to get a real boost. All right. Okay. So Read Your Life Like a Psychic asks, how do you use numbers or numerology in your readings? So I don't know really anything about numerology, so I don't incorporate numerology into my readings. The numbers on the cards are interesting, and an interesting thing to do is to group your minor arcana cards according to number. So look at all of the aces together, look at, all 4 2s together, all the 3s, and notice what they have in common and notice how they're kind of different. Because the number 2, for example, 2 can, in the case of the 2 of Cups, it's about 2 energies merging, coming together in a friendly way, working together. 2 of Swords can be kind of conflicted by 2 different choices. 2 of Wands, 2 of Wands can be more about, I feel like those wands together almost make a doorway or a portal. It can be about just like kind of pausing and contemplating how you're going to go through that portal. And then 2 of Pentacles can be about juggling and balancing 2 things. So that theme of 2 shows up in different ways depending on the suit. Yeah, so that's kind of how I use numbers, I guess, in my readings. I also, when I'm doing a reading, if it's a big spread, if there's like say 9 or 10 cards, I look for repeating patterns. And one of the things I look for is repeating numbers. So if someone gets 3 cards that are the number, again, the number 2 or the number 3, that's significant. And then I will read all those cards together. So let's say I'm doing a reading and I notice that someone gets the High Priestess, which is number 2 in the major arcana. Maybe they also get 2 of Cups and maybe they get 2 of Swords. So then I'm like, okay, there's something with the number 2 here. And then I'll get those cards and I'll read them all together and I'll link them together. So that's how I work with numbers in readings. All right, let's see here. Oh, it looks like someone's doing some spamming, but okay, I'll just ignore that. Okay, so thank you so much, Verinder. All right, Verinder, I'm not sure if you asked for a reading or not. I'm just scrolling up here. Ooh, lots of comments. Sorry, I don't get a chance to read like all the comments, even though I really want to. Yeah. Okay, so Verinder, I'm going to pull a card for you. You'd love some guidance regarding your career. I am looking for work. Okay. All right, so 9 of Wands. All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a good angle so that my camera focuses on this card and it's not too blurry. All right. All right, so the 9 of Wands. This is telling me that there may be things in your past that you need to let go of. So things, and this relates to your career, it relates to work. So things in your past, maybe something like maybe getting hurt or betrayed or feeling disappointed in something that you experienced as kind of negative or stressful or upsetting in the past as it relates to career or work. And the more you heal that and the more you process that experience and let it go as best you can, the more easily you're going to move forward. Because what I get with this card, let me just talk about the 9 of Wands on its own outside of the context of career. 9 of Wands is about feeling a little bit, not defensive, but kind of like hesitant, like you're like kind of waiting for something to happen, kind of feeling the need to sort of protect yourself and look after yourself. Sometimes it can be an indication that you need to have good boundaries. And that's a really important message with the 9 of Wands, actually, is you need to know the difference between having good boundaries, because sometimes people think boundaries mean walls, and it's not that. Your boundary doesn't have to be this impenetrable, don't think I'm saying that right. Your boundaries can be flexible and you can change them as the need arises. Boundary isn't like this, necessarily like this wall that stops you from connecting with people. So there is this theme of boundaries around here. Boundaries help you feel safe. They help you have a clear sense of yourself. And so it might resonate with you that the issue of boundaries comes up for you with your career and with your job and your line of work. But the Nine of Wands is really about not letting, I mean, the Nine of Wands is about all kinds of things. Let's be honest, it's not just one meaning, but not letting disappointments or mistakes from the past determine your future. So being able to learn and heal and grow and let go and move forward. I don't know if that was helpful or not, Verinder, but that's what I get from the Nine of Wands. Okay. So just looking to see if there's any any questions about tarot, but it's like everyone really wants a reading. Okay, here's one from AM. I sometimes find that if I have a reversed minor arcana card, I look to its corresponding major arcana. Like the example from the Two of Swords, I would look to the High Priestess, High Priestess's higher attributes. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I do that myself, but that's cool that you do that. The right path. Okay, let's shuffle the cards and let's see. Okay, Shilpa. The card you got here is the Queen of Cups. I would say, are you on the right path? The Queen of Cups, if this is a yes/no question, which it sounds like it is, the Queen of Cups tends to say yes, but the Queen of Cups also says, pay attention to your feelings. Like just look at the image on this card. Again, this is from the Light Seers Tarot. And the Queen of Cups is taking this kind of hands-off approach, and she has her eyes closed. She's tuning inward. She's has her hands up. It's almost like she's trying to feel the energy or the vibe around something. So your question, am I on the right path? What is it that makes you doubt whether or not you're on the right path? Is it intuition, or is it more your mind getting in the way? Because sometimes there can be a little bit of a push and pull between what our intuition wants us to do and what our rational mind might want us to do. And the guidance that I get with the Queen of Cups is she's asking you to honor your feelings and your emotions. I feel like a lot of the cards are kind of saying this today, but she's saying, go inward, pay attention to your intuition, really honor your intuition, cultivate your intuition. When you're in touch with your intuition, it's like it's your own North Star, and it's going to give you guidance about what path to take, what choices to make, what kinds of things to look into, where to put your energy. And of course, we can become kind of out of alignment with our intuition from time to time. I think that just happens. But the Queen of Cups is a reminder to get back in alignment with that. And so the question, am I on the right path? I think that you intuitively know, is the path that you've chosen, is it because of sort of intuitive guidance and little hunches? Do you feel drawn to something in a particular way? These are all questions to ask yourself, because I think you can't go wrong. You can't not be on the right path if you're listening to your intuition. And even if you're not listening to your intuition and you're on the wrong path, you learn by being on the wrong path, and eventually you get on the right path too. Okay, TJ says, can you talk about the 10 of Pentacles? I draw it a lot and I can't figure out what it's trying to tell me. Okay, yeah, let's see if I can find the 10 of Pentacles in this deck. The 10 of Pentacles is one of those cards that I sometimes struggle with. It's not always, like I like the card. I don't have any issues with the card, but I find oftentimes when it comes up in readings, I'm kind of like, what's, I'm like you, I'm like, what's it saying? What's it trying to tell me here? So it's one of those kind of trickier cards. The 10 of Pentacles can represent family and legacy. It can also represent money and business. I think of it as kind of being like the marketplace. I think it also represents society and how making money and our contribution to our society intertwine, how those two things kind of interface with one another. Of course, I can't find the card in this deck. It's probably like the last card at the very end of this deck. Ten of Pentacles, it's a stable card. It can be, again, about like family connections, inheritance, passing things down, building a legacy. I bet there's all kinds of comments about this. Oh, no, there isn't. Okay. Yes. Okay. Still looking for it because I want to show it to you in this particular deck. Yeah, it's going to be like the very last, second to last card. Okay, Ten of Pentacles. Here we go. So this is the Light Seer's version of this card. And I wish I could get my camera to focus better. It's really frustrating. But it shows a family, and usually the Ten of Pentacles will show different generations. So it will show an older person, a young, like a child, and then someone who looks to be around 30. And usually there's a dog or some kind of animal. So it is this sort of, it kind of represents the kind of progression of the ages and the connections between the generations. So I don't know if that answered your question, TJ. Some questions you could ask yourself when that card come up are, what kind of a legacy do I want to leave behind? Yeah. All right. Okay, so Virginia, I'm going to do a reading for you. Oh, let's see. Virginia, you asked a question. I don't know if you want a reading, but I'm going to answer your question. Do I have to always read the middle card first? Or is the middle card always representing the Inquirer? Okay, so it doesn't matter what card you read first when you're doing a reading. I've never heard of having to read the middle card first. Maybe are you talking about the Celtic cross spread? I don't think you have to read a spread in any particular order. I think a lot of spreads are designed to be read in a certain order. Like the Celtic cross, I can see how starting with that first card, the middle card, is helpful, and then you kind of work your way out, and then each card kind of adds a little piece to the puzzle. There's no rule, though, that you have to read in that particular order. So I would say do what works for you, experiment with reading in different ways, and find an approach that works with you. All right, Bonnie, are my marital issues calming down anytime soon? We are both working really hard on the marriage, and we're going through a rough season. Okay. Just going to shuffle my cards, Bonnie, and see what kind of tarot wisdom I have for you. Okay, so the card I got for you is Two of Wands. Okay. Interesting. Two of Wands is saying you might want to just pause here. So you said that you've really been working hard on the marriage. You're going through a rough time. And what I get from this card is that when you're struggling with something, sometimes it makes sense for us to focus on that thing that we're struggling with so that we can fix it and improve it. And it sounds like that's what you're doing. But sometimes we need to take a step back and take our focus off of the thing that isn't working and just put it on something else. So with the relationship thing, sometimes it helps to take the focus off the relationship and put it on yourself for, you can even set a specific amount of time. Like for the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to focus on myself, and I'm still going to be present in my marriage and in my relationship. But instead of worrying and trying and working on the relationship so intensely, I'm just going to work on myself for a week or two. and then see what happens. Because sometimes when you take your focus off of the relationship and put it onto yourself, what it does is it decreases the tension in your relationship, because focusing on the relationship and working on it in some ways can sometimes heighten the tension around it, right? So sometimes taking that attention off and refocusing it can be helpful. But with the Two of Wands, what I get here is a sense of resting. And Two of Wands is about kind of pausing, gathering your energies, and deciding where you want to go, how you want to move forward. So, for you, in terms of your relationship, this could be about pausing and asking yourself, how do I want my relationship to be? What is important to me? What kinds of things do I want to be different? Or what kinds of, how do I want to feel in my relationship? What's my ideal kind of relationship look like? Although asking yourself what's my ideal can be dangerous, because relationships are never what our ideal relationship is. But asking yourself, how do I want my relationship to be, and starting to kind of envisioning what you're wanting. Okay, I hope that made sense. I hope that was helpful. All right. And I'm going to pull a card for... Let's see, I'll scroll down to the bottom here. Okay. Maria, what is this tension that I am feeling about? It's been a month and I don't see the reason. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let me just shuffle my cards. So, Maria, you got the Hermit. And my first thought was, are you spending too much time alone? Are you getting enough social interaction? The tension you feel might be eased by, the tension you feel might be intensified by spending a lot of time alone. And it might start to dissipate the more that you get out and start socializing, if that resonates for you. The Hermit is also saying that this tension that you're feeling is actually an opportunity to go inward and work with that feeling. So I'll throw out a couple of suggestions of how you could do that. Sit with that feeling of tension. You're not trying to figure the feeling out necessarily. You're just trying to connect with that feeling a little more. So sitting with that feeling and even allowing that feeling to get a little bit bigger, a little bit more defined, and asking, how exactly does that feeling feel? Do you feel it in your body? Do you feel it in your head? Is it more of an emotional feeling? What does it feel like? Does it have a texture? Does it have a color? Is it strong? Is it weak? Really getting clear on exactly how that feeling feels, and allowing that feeling to be there, and pretending that that sense of tension, that feeling, is like a person or a guest that's here with you, and you're going to interview that guest and ask that feeling, why are you here? Do you have a message for me? What is it you want me to know? And see what happens. Have your pen and paper handy to write and see what happens. And if you get nothing, try it again. Give it a couple days, try it again. It helps to be really relaxed as well, to be in a really relaxed state. But I think that you're going to get some really interesting insights by exploring that feeling, because I think it has a message for you. Okay. Okay, let's see. There's a question about a relationship. Okay, Starly asks, can I get a card? Is he the one for me or should I move on? Okay. Okay, Starly. So the card that I got for you is Seven of Swords. Okay, so you're asking, is he the one for me or should I move on? And Seven of Swords is a fascinating card. It's all about authenticity and honesty. It's about being honest with yourself about what's important to you, what you're wanting, and also being honest with yourself about what your intuitive feelings are about this guy that you're seeing. Um, yeah, so Seven of Swords is saying it's kind of challenging you to be more authentic and more true to yourself. There's a part of you that knows what you want, and there's a part of you that can pick up on subtle cues and subtle energy, and you can kind of read between the lines. But then there's this other part of you that's like, no, 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 that can't be right. Or, oh, I don't want to rock the boat too much. So you kind of tiptoe around things. The Seven of Swords is saying, don't do that anymore. Don't tiptoe. You don't need to be sneaky. You don't need to beat around the bush. It's okay to be really straightforward and blunt when it comes to communicating with your boyfriend. Or I don't know if he's your boyfriend, this the guy that you're seeing or interested in. So I think that Seven of Swords is saying, be true to yourself, be more authentic with yourself, really be able to trust yourself as well. I'm getting the sense that maybe there's something about this person that feels maybe untrustworthy to you, or you feel like you can't really relax and just be yourself and be trusting like you want to be with them. If that's the case, you have the option to bring this up with them and talk about it, or end things. But you don't want to continue sort of tiptoeing around certain issues and not speaking your truth. Hmm. Thank you. Thanks everyone for your questions. Um, okay, Kathleen, can my conflict with my friend be resolved? All right. Lots of relationship questions today. Okay, can my conflict with my friend be resolved? All right, Kathleen. So I've got Eight of Swords. Okay. So yes, I think your conflict can be resolved, but let me talk a little bit about the Eight of Swords first. So the Eight of Swords asks us to consider that there's a difference between how something is and how we see it. So how we think something is and how it actually is. And you can see this in the image. There's a woman looking in the mirror and she sees her reflection, and in the reflection, she's tied up and blindfolded and crows are attacking her. But we can see how she really is, and none of that is happening. So the Eight of Swords asks us to kind of question our own beliefs a little bit and entertain the possibility that things aren't always as we see them. And sometimes we project things onto other people. We imagine things that aren't there, or we don't see things that are actually there. That can also be true. And the Eight of Swords, I'm trying to think how to word this. The Eight of Swords tells us that only we can set ourselves free. And often this is kind of a mental thing. it's about perception and how we perceive things. So to answer your question, can my conflict with my friend be resolved? Yes, but it's going to take changing your mind and changing how you see things. And I'm trying to think how I can be more, be a little bit more specific than that. I need a drink of water. Give me one sec. What I get from this card is don't expect your friend to fix the relationship or to even come around. You have to do your part. So if you want to mend the relationship and heal the relationship, you can do your part. If she doesn't come back to do her part, then then that's that. But you can always extend the olive branch or do whatever you need to do. But it might require a change of mindset. That's what I'm getting from this card. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull a card for, oh no, I'm going to answer a question about tarot. What tarot books do you recommend for deeper reflections on the tarot? Ooh, okay, this is good. I'm not up in my office right now where I have all my books where I could show you. There's a book by Rachel Pollack called Tarot Wisdom. And I really enjoyed that book. It really goes deep into the cards, and I really like that book a lot. I got a lot out of it. So it's called Tarot Wisdom by Rachel Pollack. And another book that helps you go deep into the cards, which I do have on hand, I think. Hold on. Is Tarot for Transformation by Andy Matzner. This one has tons of cool exercises and journaling questions, and it goes quite deep into the tarot. I think it's just the major arcana. Yeah, using the major arcana. It's really interesting too, so it's worth checking out for sure. Oh, thanks for all the nice comments, you guys. Maria asks, I was laying cards to get examples of personal values, and I got the 9 of Swords. Any suggestions for this? Okay, how to read the 9 of Swords as a personal value. Excuse me. The 9 of Swords as a personal value. You won't believe this, but I've forgotten what the 9 of Swords even is. My brain is not good today. 9 of Swords, which one is that? I can't believe I've completely forgotten what the 9 of Swords even looks like. Oh, that's the one where the person's lying in bed, right? Okay. The 9 of Swords can represent anxiety and worry and kind of torturing yourself with your mind. Like, your mind will weave anxious scenarios and worst case scenarios and things like that. So as a personal value, it could be about working with that, working with your anxiety. I always think when I look at the Rider-Waite version of the 9 of Swords, the swords look like a ladder. So it can be about finding a way to lift yourself out of that so that you don't spiral into negative thinking. So using those moments of negative thinking where you start to kind of go down that rabbit hole, using that and catching yourself and finding a way to climb out of that and kind of turn things around. That's what I get from that. Okay, Nav really wants me to answer this question because I've seen you posted it a couple times. I like someone I met through a dating app, but we're in different countries, different cultures, and different upbringing. We've chatted on and off for almost a year. Is there a positive future in the books? And you've chatted on and off. I wonder, have you met in person yet? Okay, you got the devil. That's really intense. Okay, so the devil is a major arcana card. I feel like this is the first major arcana card we've gotten so far. Um, all right. I'm curious if you've met this person. I think that's important to meet someone in person before you decide whether this is um, something that you want to continue pursuing. So let me tell you a little bit about the devil. The devil can represent all kinds of things. It can represent feeling tempted, temptation, but typically the devil represents giving away our power to something and feeling like we are kind of a puppet, feeling like we're being manipulated, and feeling like someone else or something else holds all the power and that we are kind of powerless in their presence. So a question I have for you is when it comes to this relationship, does that, what I just said, resonate with you in any way? Do you feel like you're giving your power away to this person, or does that not resonate at all? But a question for you to ask is how do you give your power away? Is there anything that you're giving your power away to? Is there any idea that you're buying into? It could be a belief or something that you buy into that makes you feel powerless. It stops you from really standing in your full power and living your full potential. And is that connected to this relationship at all? The other thing I get from this, because your question was, is there a positive future in the books? Okay. I don't want to say yes or no because I feel like there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Number one, I think you need to meet this person in person before. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I think you need to ask yourself, does this relationship feel empowering or disempowering? Since meeting this person and having communication with them, do you feel like this has added a lot to your life? Do you feel a sense of expansion, a sense of freedom, or do you feel a sense of contraction and limitation? And just asking yourself that question, feeling into the relationship you have with this person, do you feel a sense of expansion or contraction when you communicate with them? When you think about a future together, do you feel a sense of expansion or contraction? These are things you need to consider before moving forward, I think. I don't know if that was helpful. Let me know. Thank you so much, Alpha Dog Elite. All right. I don't know if you had a question, Alpha Dog. I'll just scroll up and see. If so, please post and I'll draw a card for you. What do you think about Thoth Tarot? I like the Thoth Tarot. The Thoth Tarot was one of the first tarot decks that I got. So the first deck I got was the Rider-Waite Tarot. I bought like 3 decks at the same time. I bought the Rider-Waite, the Thoth deck, and another deck called the Secret Tarot, which is a really kind of weird deck. And the Thoth Tarot was one of the decks that I learned on, which isn't necessarily ideal because the Thoth Tarot is very different from the Rider-Waite deck. It's a tarot deck, but it's very, very different. And I enjoy that deck. I don't actually read with it now, but it's an interesting deck. I'd like to read more about it. I'd like to learn more about it because I feel like I don't really know that much about the Thoth deck, but it's definitely it's a very powerful deck. Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna do a reading for Nicolette. I'm currently going through a spiritual evolution and I keep receiving messages related to change. My question is, what can I do to ease my anxiety? Okay, Nicolette, the card I got for you is Strength. So, Strength is the card that will help you ease your anxiety. And okay, so there's a few things I get from this card. I think a lot of the anxiety comes from, it could come from self doubt. And also, just making changes is stressful, kind of getting out of your comfort zone. But the strength card is telling you that you can do this, that you are strong, that you're so much more capable, you're so much more resilient and powerful than you realize, than you give yourself credit for. And there's nothing like creating change in your own life that can affirm that for you. There's nothing like that that feels more empowering. It's when you start to create changes and things start to work out, things start to unfold, one change leads to another, that really can make you feel like a stronger, resilient, more powerful person. So I think you just have to kind of move forward and start listening to your guidance. Now, if it helps you to take baby steps, then do that. Don't pressure yourself to make big sweeping changes all at once or all of a sudden. The key with this card is gentleness. So the maiden on the card is with this little lamb and she's wearing a heart locket. This is about really being gentle with yourself. The maiden is also half lion. So you have this strong, ferocious, wild side to you. But at the same time, you want to take a really gentle approach to creating change in your life and ask yourself, how can I be more gentle to myself? How can I create a sense of safety and containment for myself? How can I be kind to myself as I go through these changes? Because that is really the key. You don't want to be beating yourself up or be putting a lot of pressure on yourself as you're creating these changes in your life. You really want to be as gentle and kind to yourself as you can be. Jen says, I'm thinking of going in a totally new direction career wise. Is this a good time to make this move? Yes, I'm nervous. Okay, so you're thinking about going in a new direction career wise. Is this a good time to make a move? And the card you got is Three of Cups. Okay, I would say yes. I mean, Three of Cups is such a positive, happy card. And I just want to say, yes, now is the time. Three of Cups suggests, though, that you consider joy as being part of this new path, being more joyful, focusing on doing something that feels fun, that feels freeing and expansive. Also, something that helps you feel more connected. Those are some themes that are coming up with this card. These are all things to consider as you move forward. I think that as you make these changes, the things that are going to support you the most are friendship, social connection, and being able to just not take things so seriously, being able to kind of let go and laugh at yourself and have fun. That's a really important part of that. But it does feel like now is a good time to make a change. if that's what you feel called to do. And it feels like that is what you feel feel called to do. Okay. Oh, thank you, Lena. All right. So I'm just going to take a quick water break here. And I want to tell you guys about, because I know some new people have joined since the beginning. So I want to tell you about a couple things that I have coming up. So I have a 4-week course that's going to be starting on October 5th. And that is a course on how to read tarot intuitively. So for those of you who want to incorporate your intuition into your tarot readings, I've kind of designed this course just for you. It's a really fun 4-week course. I know some of you in here have already taken it, and if you've already taken my intuitive tarot course, you get to take it again for free. So you get to attend the live Q&As again. You can go through the course again for free. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. I'm going to put a link to my course for those of you who are interested, because you can sign up now. And there are payment plans available. Okay. And I also have, oh, and thank you, Renee. You said it was very fun, lots of materials. Yeah. So yeah, if anyone has any questions about my course, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I also have another thing coming up, which is a free tarot workshop called A Date with Your Tarot Deck. And it's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about this one. And I'm going to post that in the chat as well for those of you who want to check it out. All right. And that doesn't happen for a little over a week, but you can sign up now. Yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you, Michael, for the lovely compliment. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna do a reading for lots of relationship questions here. Oh, Nav, you said, thanks so much. It resonates a lot with me as there have been conflicting energies and mixed signals. You were amazingly spot on about the personal power bit. Okay, good, good. I'm glad that resonated. Thank you for letting me know. All right, Claire just wants a general reading. Okay, that's easy. Just pull a card. Okay, Claire. The card I got for you is oh, 10 of Cups. Beautiful. All right. So 10 of Cups is really lovely. This is about dreams coming true. It's about having a really positive vision, not just for the future, but for the present. I think that it's hard to have a positive vision of the future if you can't have a positive vision of the present moment. And what I mean by that is having a positive vision of the present moment is about seeing the good in things. It's not about ignoring the bad or pretending bad things don't happen, but it's about also noticing the bright spots. It's about seeing the beauty in day-to-day life. And when you're able to do that, it's easier to create a positive vision of the future. 10 of Cups is a card of relationships. It's a card of appreciation and honoring your relationships and your connections with others, especially your emotional connections with others. And I also feel like this is linked to the relationship that you have to your feelings. And there's a big rainbow in this card, and it makes me think of all the different feelings that we have, from love and affection to joy, humor, sadness, anger, grief, frustration, all those different feelings and all the little feelings in between. And when you expand your horizons and allow all those feelings to show up and you don't shut any of those feelings out, it really expands your capacity to connect with yourself. It expands your capacity to be authentic with others. And this is what truly allows you to make meaningful connections with other people in your life. And that's what I get from this card is this is a time for you to hold a positive vision of the present moment and the future and really honor the close relationships that you have in your life right now. Really enjoy those relationships. Okay. Yay, Laura, you said you signed up for my course. Awesome. I'm happy to have you in it. Okay. Ooh, I don't know how to pronounce this name. Jej? Jej? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm currently going through a lot of changes. I moved and I will be in art school. I have never imagined myself being an artist prior. I don't know if it is a good decision or a detour. You know what though? Detours, this is the funny thing about detours, because I remember several years ago, I signed up for a program and I became a certified nutritionist. And that was 6 years ago. And I never used that degree. I didn't do anything regarding nutrition after that. And so some might say, well, that was a waste of time. It was a detour. But it actually, in some weird roundabout way, contributed to other things happening in my life, which moved me forward. So even though I didn't use that degree directly, it helped me move forward in this weird roundabout way. So even detours aren't really detours. But I want to draw a card for you. Okay, we got Six of Cups. Okay. Okay. I feel like you said you've never imagined yourself being an artist, but what about when you were a young kid? I feel like being artistic and creative was a really big part of your childhood, and this was a part of you that you were more strongly connected to when you were younger, and then as you got older, you didn't lose that connection, but it just wasn't as strong. It wasn't as big a part of your life. And so by revisiting that and going back to learning about creativity and art, in some ways it's going to bring up a lot of stuff from the past for you, and it's going to really, I think, bring up some stuff about your inner child and your relationship to your inner child and childhood stuff. And so being creative and making art can be a way to process some of those things. What I get from this though is that this is important. This is a good step for you. This is a good thing. Whether or not it's a detour, I don't think it matters at this point. I think this is a positive step. And there's something that feels really warm and fuzzy about this card that I really like. And yeah, I just want to say good luck. I think that you've made a good choice, a good decision. Okay. Create design. Thank you. Thanks so much. Oh, Victoria, you just signed up. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I love teaching that course. It's a lot of fun. This will be the seventh time. I can't believe this is the seventh. No, it's not. Is it the seventh? Yeah, it's the seventh time I've taught this course. I've been teaching it for 6 years. And it's a course that I look forward to teaching every year. I think it's so magical when we start to get in touch with our intuition and we start incorporating our intuition into readings. I think that it's really special and it's a really cool journey to go on. Okay, so there's some people that are posting the same question like a million times. You only need to post it like once or twice. It's okay if you post it more than once, but yeah, okay. Um, Shilpa, thank you for signing up for my course. Awesome. Okay, Create Design says, can you do my question? Yes, okay. I can. I just have to find it. Um, and I can't find it, so create design, if you want to just repost it, because I'm not seeing it here, then I can do a reading for you. Oh, and thank you, Lena. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. All right. All right, I'll do one for, okay. What will come in the next 3 months? All right. I'll be honest with you. I'm not great at predictive readings, but let's just see what cards come up. Let's look at the energies of the next 3 months for you. Okay, so the card, oh, this is the same card in the last one. I did shuffle the deck. It's funny when that happens. 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups, and I've already talked a lot about this card, but I'm going to say different things about this card. So it's always interesting in these lives when the same card comes up for different questions, because you can see me kind of reread the card, but from a different lens, a different perspective. All right. So there's going to be lots of opportunities for connection over the next 3 months. And sometimes those opportunities will not feel like opportunities, they'll feel like challenges. So you may have conflicts with loved ones, or a stressful situation with someone in a relationship, but those are actually blessings in disguise. Those are opportunities for you to take your relationship deeper. They're opportunities for you to express yourself more fully and more freely. And those are always opportunities for growth and deeper connection with the other person. And the 10 of Cups also asks you, and this is an interesting question, when you're thinking about the next 3 months and what's going to happen, what's going to come, the 10 of Cups is saying, what would you like to happen over the next 3 months? Because you are not powerless. It's not like your future is necessarily set in stone and you're just a passive person along for the ride. You also have a hand in creating things. And of course, things are going to happen that feel unexpected and out of our control. That's just the nature of things. But you also have a lot of power in your own life. And so the 10 of Cups asks you, what do you want to call in for the next 3 months? What vision of the next 3 months do you want to hold? What do you want to call in? What would you like to experience? Is there anything you'd like to let go of? What do you want more of? What would you like less of? Really drilling down and asking yourself these questions, and even creating a regular habit or practice of holding a vision of what you would like to call in, what you would like to create, and imagining it not being this thing in the future that's going to happen, but imagine yourself experiencing that now and what that feels like, and really envisioning yourself experiencing it and feeling it in your body, meaning like, what would that feel like emotionally, physically, mentally? What would that be like? So that's what I get for you from the 10 of Cups. So I hope that was helpful. It's a really positive card, though. It's a nice one to get. Okay, I feel like I've just missed a whole bunch of comments, so let me just get caught up here. Anna says, first time here, can I please have a love read? Okay. All right, Anna, so the card I have for you is the Moon. Now, this is one of my favorite cards because it's so mysterious, and I love mysterious things. And as you can see, I have a moon necklace and moon earrings. So I'm all about the moon. Uh, so the moon shows us that we have there are many different sides to us. We have a wild, instinctual animal side. We have a subconscious part of us. We have an unconscious part of us, which is things that we're not even aware of that have a profound, powerful effect on our lives. And then there's the conscious part of us. There's our domesticated side. There's our civil side and our wild side. We have all these different sides to us. And when it comes to love and relationships, often our subconscious and our unconscious drives and issues will show up in our relationships. And the more intense our relationships are, the more we will notice this. And you didn't tell me if you were looking for love or if you're in a relationship. But the moon says that in order to, I'm trying to think how to word this, you can't go wrong by exploring yourself and diving deep into your subconscious and your unconscious to get more self knowledge. That's going to help you in your relationships. So, paying attention to your dreams. Your dreams hold all kinds of interesting messages from your subconscious. Paying attention to your intuition, writing down your dreams, journaling, trying things like automatic writing. These are all ways to access the subconscious or the unconscious. Even hypnosis is another powerful tool for that. So I do see this kind of link between those two things. Yeah, trying to think if there's anything else I want to add. You really want to honor your wild side and your instinctual side. That side is going to serve you in love. So being in tune with your intuition and your instincts and all that is really going to help you navigate love and relationships better. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll right down to the bottom. So I think I'll take a couple more questions. And again, if anyone has any questions about learning tarot or reading tarot that you want to ask me, I'm happy to answer those. Okay, Health Daily asks, can I ask if I can open my spiritual gifts in this lifetime? Okay. I'm leaning towards yes. But I'm going to draw a card and see what the tarot has to say about it. All right. Ooh, interesting. So we got the Eight of Swords again. We had this one for someone else earlier. So your question was, can I open to my spiritual gifts in this lifetime? Whether or not you can, so the short answer is yes, you can. But what will hold you back and determine how much of your spiritual gifts you can open to will be your own beliefs around this. So you can see this woman is looking at her reflection in a mirror. And when she looks in the mirror, she sees her reflection being bound, being tied up. She's blindfolded, and there's crows flying at her and pecking at her and attacking her. Or maybe they're helping untie her. I never thought of it that way. But what I get from this card is the thing that's going to help you open to your spiritual gifts is your mindset and believing that you can open to those gifts. It's almost like you have to negotiate a little bit with your higher self. So if there's certain gifts that you want to open up to, whether those are psychic gifts or healing or whatever those gifts might be, having a conversation with yourself, with your higher self about that, going into meditation, getting really relaxed and negotiating with your higher self and saying, I'm ready to open up to these gifts. And maybe you don't want to open up to everything right away because that's going to be really overwhelming, but starting slow, taking baby steps, seeing how you do. Yeah, that's what I get from this card, is that it's very possible for you to open to your gifts in this lifetime. But the one thing that's going to stand in your way is your own self-belief and your limitations. If you believe that you can't, or that you won't, or that it's not going to happen in this lifetime, that's going to be your experience. So this is the most important thing with your question, is this is all about how you see yourself and the self beliefs that you have about yourself. Okay, Anna said, I missed the information about your course. Can you please tell me more about it? Yeah, I'm going to post a link so you can check out my sign up page. It's got all the info. I'm just going to post it right now. So it's a 4-week course, and all the content is pre-recorded, so you don't have to attend live. I do 4 live Q&As throughout the course. Those are live, but I also record those, so it's okay if you miss them. There's a private Facebook group, so you can interact with other people in the course, and I sometimes post like little challenges and exercises in that group. It's a really fun course. It's pretty fast-paced. It's fun. It's engaging. There's all kinds of cool stuff in there. You get lifetime access, so you don't have to finish it all in that 4 weeks. You have lifetime access. You can download everything. Yeah, so check it out. It's a lot of fun, and it focuses on helping you incorporate your intuition into your tarot readings. It's open level as well, so it's good for beginners as well as more experienced readers. Okay, Lizzie says, hi, Kate, I just joined the party. Are these yes or no questions? So you can ask me for a 1-card reading if you want a reading, or you can ask me a question about learning tarot or reading tarot. I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then I'm going to close it down. So Kate asks, would you be able to tell me about how my partner is feeling about me? I can't. I can only read about the person who wants the reading. I can't really look into other people's feelings. I don't even know how my own partner feels about me, to be honest. So I sure as hell probably can't tell what your partner feels about you. Yeah, so I can't answer questions about other people and what they're feeling, but I can answer questions about you. Tatiana, finally I got to participate on your party. What message do my spiritual guides want me to understand about my journey? Okay. So Tatiana, the card I got for you is 6 of Wands. Yay, I love it. So I love your question, which was, what message do my spiritual guides want me to understand about my journey? And I feel like your spiritual guides are cheering you on. This is you on the stage. And then these are all, I don't know if you can see it, but these are all little hands reaching up. And it's like your spiritual team, your spiritual guides are cheering you on. You're the rock star. And they're like, yay. I think that recently, this is going to sound a little wild. I was going to say recently you went through a portal. What I actually mean by that is recently you probably made some decision or some change that opened up a whole new avenue of opportunity. Or maybe you're on the cusp of doing that now. I feel like right now you're getting to know what your gifts are. You're starting to build your confidence, and you're starting to get more bold in your steps. Your spirit guides want you to continue doing that, to continue developing your confidence, developing your skill set, and getting bolder in the changes you make and the moves that you make. So that's what I get for you. Okay. And let's see, Renee, I know you asked for a reading earlier and I kind of missed it. Let's see, Renee, I know you always go to my lives and I so appreciate it. I love seeing the same names and faces here. Okay, Renee asks, what is the energy around me for my end of the week? Okay. All right, Renee, you got the Hermit. So the energy around you for the end of the week, it feels powerful. Um, how you can make the most of this week, particularly towards the end of the week, is by really getting in touch with your own inner wise person, your own, you can think of it as your own inner guru, your inner hermit, your inner wise person. And you can do that by getting still, and by getting quiet and going inward, and then taking all that you learn and all that you gain from that inward journey and bringing it back out as you step out into the world, so that you step back out into the world with this sense of presence. You're standing in your power, you're fully present, and you're calm. That is when you're in your zone, when you're calm like that. So that's what I'm getting. That's going to be really important for you as you move into the end of the week. I don't know what you've got going on for the end of the week, but by being present and calm and really working on, meditating, whether it's breath work or whatever that helps you get to that place, that's going to be really important for you this week. Okay, I've been learning about tarot for a little bit, and I usually don't fix my upside down cards unless I feel an urge to fix one. Is that a good approach? I kind of read reverse, but I think of it as a whole. I think do what works for you. One thing that really struck me with tarot when I first started learning it is all the weird rules that some people have around tarot. And that was so unhelpful to me as a beginner. And so I like to tell people, like, you don't have to read a certain way. Like someone asked, is it okay to turn over? Do I have to turn over to the center card in a reading, or can I start with another card? Like, do what feels right for you, do what works for you. Personally, for me, I wouldn't want to use your approach where you like sometimes read the card reversed and sometimes you turn it upside down. For me, I either read reversals or I don't read reversals. I don't kind of sometimes read reversals. Um, so that approach wouldn't work for me. But if that approach is working for you and it's helpful for you, keep doing what's working for you and what's helpful for you. Oh, Conchi, thank you. Thanks for the shout out about my class. Oh, I just love all these questions here. Okay, I know I said I was only gonna take 2 more and then leave, but I'm really liking these questions. So I think I'm gonna answer a few more. Okay, Renee, that resonated. Good to hear. Um, oh, welcome, Trace. That's great. It's your first time here. Oh, and Tatiana, you said, how interesting your choice of words because I got married on the Lions portal of 808. Yeah, that's funny. That's what my first thing I thought of when I turned over the card was portal. I wanted to talk about portals. Grace, you were told that you have a gift in healing. How do you tap into that? Okay, I like this question. Three of Cups. All right, so you tap into your gift of healing by being joyful, by not taking things too seriously, by having a sense of humor. So the things that will block your healing gift and make it hard for you to tap into that gift is by taking life super seriously, by not having a sense of humor, by getting disconnected from those around you, friends and loved ones. When you have a good social network, when you have connections, when you have friends and family, when you focus on having fun and celebrating things and really cultivating joy and celebration and happiness and laughter. Those are all things that are going to help you tap into your healing gift. And I think with healing, because I've studied certain forms of like energy healing and stuff like that, I think when it comes to healing, we can sometimes think, "Ooh, this is like serious business. We got to like be really serious." And in some ways, yes, but it's that energy of joyfulness, of laughter that will actually turn you into like this healing presence that other people will want to be around. So it's that energy of cultivating joy and humor, laughter, celebration, that's really going to help you tap into your gifts. So I don't know how you plan on tapping into this gift and healing, if you're going to study some sort of thing or what you're going to do, but ask yourself, how can I make this process joyful? How can it feel fun? How can it feel like a celebration? Thank you, Catherine Whitworth, for your lovely words. Okay, so okay, so now I think I will truly answer two more questions and then I'm gonna go because I'm starting to notice my brain is starting to kind of get a little bit frazzled. So if anyone has any questions about learning tarot, I'm really happy to answer that. And if anyone wants me to draw a card, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll take two more, and then I'm gonna go. It's a beautiful day outside, and I think I'm gonna go for a walk. I have to shop at Costco later today, and I always have to psych myself up to do a Costco shop. I don't know if anyone else is the same way. There's something about doing like a big shop that just is so draining, like a big grocery shop or something like that. It just sucks the soul out of me. What's my favorite beginner deck? Um, I always recommend people just get the Rider Waite deck to learn on. I'd say that's my favorite beginner deck. Second, I would say maybe the Everyday Witch Tarot. I also love the Lightseers Tarot. I mean, this is actually a good beginner deck. Like, it's not, I don't really recommend decks for beginners that are too creative, like that stray too far from kind of the Rider Waite symbolism. But this deck, I think you get the best of both worlds. It's very different from the Rider Waite deck, yet uses a lot of the same imagery and symbolism. So it's, I think, a good beginner deck. What is the technique to use to pop up a single card? Oh, I kind of go like that, and then I'll just take that card. So I'll do it again for you. And I just take the top card. Laura, you agree with me that Costco's draining? Yeah. Oh, Fatine says, any advice for the pain inside me? Okay. So I don't know if you're referring to physical pain or emotional pain. I mean, obviously, if it's physical pain, you want to see a doctor. That kind of goes without saying. So I'm going to assume that this is more emotional pain. So I'm just going to draw a card and see what the tarot has to say. Emotional. Okay, good. Well, not good, but okay, Ace of Swords. Oh, interesting. Okay. So what's interesting about this card is this, at first glance, this looks like a shell, right? But then if you look at it, it's actually a spiral staircase. And it's going inward, or you could say going outward. there's this sort of, it looks like it's spiraling inward and it's going into her mind. So there's a few things I get with this card, and I feel like I've been saying this a lot with a lot of the cards today, but if you're having emotional pain, sometimes going inward, and like for someone else I gave a reading to today, I said, going inward and sitting with that feeling, whatever that feeling feels like, and getting to know the feeling, like, what is it? Does it have a texture? Does it have a flavor? Does it have a color? Does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? Is it bubbly or scratchy? And then interviewing that feeling of discomfort or whatever it is, pain, and saying, what message do you have for me? And interviewing that feeling like it's a person, you can get some really fascinating insights from doing that. This is something I love to do myself. The other thing I get with this card, this is the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords, whenever the ace comes up in a reading, it's an opportunity for a new beginning and for a fresh start. And when you think of the Ace of Swords, you think of like one sword, and I see that sword as being able to sort of cut cords, cut ties, cut the things that are holding you back, cutting through illusions, cutting through mental confusion to really get to the heart of the matter. So one way to prolong emotional pain would be to kind of ignore it and try to distract yourself. And one way to start to process it and work with it is to kind of go into it, interview it, sit with it, cutting away distractions and cutting away some of the things that can hold us back. I know that's very vague, but I do get a sense that you're on the cusp of a new phase. And that's because this is an ace. With every ace, there's an opportunity to start fresh, to take a new approach, to let go of the old, to let go of the past, and to move forward. So I hope that gave you some ideas. You said you're still healing after 2 years, and I think earlier you said it was like a heartbreak from the end of a relationship or something like that. Um, yeah, just trying to think if there's anything else I see in this card. I think it's interesting that the light that's coming out of her head kind of looks like a projector light. And it makes me think of how we sometimes, like, whatever's going on in our head, whatever our mindset is, can act as a projector, and we can kind of project that onto things. I'm trying to think of an example of that. I don't know if that's helpful at all, but I think that sometimes whatever's going on in our head, we have a way of projecting that onto the world and seeing things through that lens. But with the Ace of Swords, this card asks, you have the opportunity for a fresh start and a new beginning. What would you like that new beginning to be like? What would you like that fresh start to feel like? And starting to kind of put your focus there and taking baby steps towards that. Another beautiful thing about the Ace of Swords, and also I feel this with the Ace of Wands too sometimes, and the Ace of Pentacles, is the Ace of Swords is encouraging you to take action on something, to take a baby step towards something that feels important to you. So thinking, what new things do I want to embrace? What new things do I want to call into my life? And what is one little step I can take today towards that? That might help you start your healing journey. Thank you so much, Laura. And Laura, I don't know if you wanted a card or not. I didn't see you post a question. Yeah, let me know though if you have a question. Okay. Oops. Okay, one more question. I'll take one more. Mm. All right. Okay, I'm going to take two more. Sarabi, when will I get a new job with the salary as I want? Okay, Two of Wands. So I'm not good with timing questions, I'll be honest. Um, Two of Wands is saying use this time to pause and figure out what it is that you want, what is important to you, where you want to put your energy next. This is a time for contemplation. So I don't know, you said, when will I get a new job? So I don't know if you're currently working or if you're unemployed and looking for a new job, but it's asking you to get more intentional around where to put your energy. So pausing, taking some time to ask yourself, what is important to me? Where do I want to put my energy right now? Where do I want to direct my energy? That is going, asking yourself those questions and getting clear on that is going to move you closer to your goal. And I don't know when it's going to happen for you, if it's like 2 weeks, 2 months, but I think the sooner that you ask yourself those questions and direct your energy towards what's important to you, I think the more you'll start to progress and start to see changes happening. Okay, last question. Oh, thank you, Laura. Okay, last question I'll do. Bren Yassi. Anything spirit wants me to know right now? I like that question. That's easy, that's light, it's fun. Okay, so you got, ooh, the Emperor. Okay, so spirit wants you to know Spirit wants you to really embrace your independent side. There's a part of you that's a little bit of a rebel, and you want to do things your way, and you want to lean into that, embrace that. This doesn't mean being stubborn and having to have your own way. You still want to consider other people's input and opinions, but this card is really encouraging you to embrace your independent side, embrace your free thinking side. I think you have a plan and you want to put that plan into place. You're just kind of waiting for the right time. You're waiting for some guidance. You're waiting for some inspiration. There's nothing like the present moment to start taking action towards your goals and start moving in that direction. So the Emperor is saying, you have this independent side to you. You have a plan. You kind of, part of you does know what you want, and there is a side to you that wants to do things your way. You want to lean into that. That can really work for you in a lot of ways. All right. So that has been it, guys. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me and hanging out with me today. This has been super fun. I'm going to put the links to all my upcoming stuff, all my upcoming courses and free workshops and stuff like that just below this video. I'll actually post it as like a pinned comment if I can do that for the lives. I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, and so if you guys want to learn more about me or check out my website is dailytarotgirl.com. I've got lots of fun tarot learning resources on there for you to check out. I've got tons of tarot spreads, deck review videos, tarot exercises. I'm still doing my tarot meanings deep dive series right now for the major arcana. I've got one card to go, but that's been a really fun series. So if you want to learn the major arcana, there's a whole section on my website for that as well. So again, thank you everyone for being here with me live. Thank you so much for your wonderful questions. And thank you for allowing me to read for you. It has been such an honor. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.